Having moved from India to the UK 10 years ago, Balaji has become a known face around Oxford Cricket Club. From childhood memories to the expecting of his first child during a promotion battle, we go behind the scenes at Oxford Cricket Club to find out a little bit more.
Balaji Ramalingam, been with the club from 2018. Worked for a pharmaceutical company, primarily from India. We have moved here to the UK. It's been 10 years now. One of the reasons was cricket as well, as like my other option was to move to the US, as I didn't see much of a cricket culture over there. That was moving in the right direction for me to just be inspired to come here. Came to Scotland and worked over there for 5 years and played a lot of cricket there, and then moved down south here.
So, and what's your role at the cricket club?
It keeps evolving, let's put it that way. I'm a bit of a generalist, doing a lot of things. As in, I play for the second team mostly. As in, my captain calls me the vice captain, but I do a bit of everything. And to the extent where I bat a bit, I bowl a bit, and then 2 years back in the first team, we didn't have a keeper, so I had to keep. And let's say I stopped the ball rather than keeping. So that's my role. And I do come in on an occasional Friday to basically help with some coaching and stuff as well. Because back in India, I used to run a company in cricket. And it was primarily concentrating on teaching cricket for kids under the age of 7. And we used to run the Cricket Australia's cricket education program. And that's primarily because when I was growing up, I used to watch cricket via commentary and so on and so forth, and used to think that that'd be really nice to learn in a structured way. And it was a dream, so we ended up running it. And yeah, that's the reason why I come on a Friday as well. 2018, when I joined, there was completely different changing rooms. I still mix around between the first and the second teams based on availability rather than performances. But it was intense, the first team, when I joined, not just for cricketing reasons, for, again, people playing at that level are meant to be a bit selfish for the right reasons, and in a club cricket environment, that can be a lot to take. But that's changed quite a bit over the last few years by conscious effort. So building a culture around the team has been one of the primary targets, not just winning. And the second team, when I joined, was a brilliant place. Most of the cricketers had already played a lot of first team cricket. It was one of the primary reasons for me to get so involved with the club. It was very welcoming when I joined. But there's been some massive player turnover as well, which meant we lost a lot of first team cricketers. Second team players went up and played, and then the second team did not have the core set. And we lost a bit of that culture. The Saturday culture 3 years back was 11 players, 7 of them we didn't know their names. I was captaining the game. And it's very hard to drive a second team to basically getting back to that culture and the winning ways when you've got to maintain a first team as well. So currently, I'd say that the culture is very, very good on both teams that I've played in, because players play like mates. And to the extent, one example of this year was second team went on to win the league, but it was just by 15 points with the team that came second, and only one team gets promoted in that league. And it was a rainy day where the ground was completely wet. The first team game was cancelled. It was to that level. Home counties games were getting cancelled. All games in our league were cancelled. And we were the only team wanting to get a result out of it. And the first team players came here to basically mop up the ground. They knew they weren't playing. They didn't have to do it. They could have gone back home and played. And they came here, mopped up, got the ground ready, got the game going. We got 25 points that day. To win a game, again, outcomes are outside of our control. You can only do the process, right? But in terms of culture on a Saturday, you can imagine as a night for players who are meant to be selfish, who are meant to be looking at their own performances, to not play on a Saturday, not getting paid as well, to come here to basically mop up the grounds, that takes a lot.
Talk to me about that day that you won the league.
Oh, I wasn't here. So, so me and my wife were expecting, so I had to travel with her to Portugal. At that point, it was too early, so I had to give non-cricketing reasons to leave the game. I hated it. As I really wanted to play those last two games for multiple reasons. As we had gone through this journey over multiple years to get here, and but I knew that I would be traveling those last 2 weekends, so we started preparing for it 8 weeks back itself, as in terms of opportunities for the other youngsters who had to play those crunch games. We knew we had to win every game. It was non-negotiable. But I was in Portugal, watching the commentary of the game, following it ball by ball, and the ball when we went, 70% of the way, we kind of knew we're winning this league now. And that's when all the calculations in our head stopped. We have some groups with the leadership team and the second team as well. We were continuously calculating, can we win this game? If we lose this game, what happens? If it gets rained out, again, most of our easier games got rained out. And that is not very helpful. So eventually when the calculation stopped, it was like in the beach. Finally, it was relaxing, and my wife could see it as we had won. Individually, it was an interesting year because I had to pull back quite a bit. Given my commitments at work as well, life gets busy, I travel a lot and so on and so forth. When you know that, and being in a leadership part as well, you have to pull back. So I bowl and bat a bit, trying to bat in a position and bowl at a situation where it complements the team rather than just my own skills was an interesting learning curve. Only batted in games where there was an absolute need, because the team was basically really good and we were winning quite easily many games. And so the competitive nature of the league was getting, it wasn't very competitive after a while. Over the years we've been winning, and this year we were basically smashing the teams in most of the games, which brought into the question of what role am I playing? Can I still contribute by going down to the third team and contributing more over there than playing in the second team? Because it doesn't matter where you play. At the end of the day, you just want to come in and contribute as much. Don't think I contributed much this year, except for the 2 games where these were against the teams which were about to win the league or were competing with us, and had to bat differently to what I normally do. Holding on to one end is not my role, but that was the role at that point. And in both those games, I was happy, even if it was a 20-yard or something like that. The time that I spent in the wicket basically helped us win those games, while the others around me were batting really well. Brendan was outstanding. And so there was a lot of highs this season, but the experience of contributing lesser but still playing for the team was, this was the first year when I felt like I didn't actually have to do this and that and all.